Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Coaster Brothers. In today's video, we're going to be doing a Shellraiser review. If you don't know what Shellraiser is, it's a Gerstlauer Eurofighter located at Nickelodeon Universe at American Dream Mall. It has the steepest drop in the world, guys, at 121.5 degrees. And today, I'm going to be doing the full in-depth review of this coaster. There are some pros to this coaster, but also, unfortunately, a lot of cons. But before you find out all of that, you guys must subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and definitely give the video a big old thumbs up. So, let's begin the review. Alright, so our first category is height. TMNT Shellraiser stands at a maximum height of 141 feet, which is pretty tall. It's like an average height for a roller coaster. See, this is like in the middle of being like super tall and then being like short, like not that tall. So 141 feet, that's usually the height of most B&M inverts. It's usually the height of most floorless coasters by B&M. So it's a pretty good height for this coaster, at least in terms with this coaster model. So for height, I'm going to be giving a 7. Now for speed. Shellraiser travels at 62 miles per hour, which is average for most roller coasters. But because of the indoor aspect of this roller coaster, well, guys, that's insane. 62 miles per hour on an indoor roller coaster, that is just awesome. So for speed, I'm going to be giving a 6. Alright guys, so now we're on to drop. And I think you already know what I'm going to say for this. Guys, Shellraiser has a massive drop at 141 foot drop. And, well, that's the height at least. I don't know the exact drop height, at least drop length. But I know that that's how high this coaster reaches. And then you drop down 121 degrees. 121.5 degrees, which is the steepest of any drop in the world. But unfortunately, at the bottom of this drop, there is a severe rattle that causes me a very bad headache for the rest of the duration of the ride. So for drop, I would be giving a 10, but I'm going to be giving a 9. Even though Shellraiser doesn't focus on it, there are a couple of notable airtime moments on this coaster. The first being the small dip down, leaving the station. Then there's a little pop of airtime if you're in the back going into the launch. And there's some airtime going down the drop. So for airtime, because this coaster doesn't focus on it too much, I'm going to be giving a 4. And guys, another great thing about Shellraiser is the inversions. Guys, Shellraiser is packed with many different inversions. Corkscrews, rolls, the banana roll, the gigantic corkscrew. You name it, Shellraiser has it. The Immelman. Like, Shellraiser has a bunch of inversions. Almost every transition is an inversion, guys. You go up through the gigantic corkscrew into the banana roll, into another big corkscrew. And yeah, so like I just love this coaster for these inversions, guys. Unfortunately though, at the top of the inversions, it can be a little bit rattly, but we'll get into that later in a different category. But for inversions, because of the variety of them, I'm going to be giving Shellraiser a 9 for this. Now, our next category is launch. Now, guys, Shellraiser has one of the most forceful launches I've experienced. It is King Dakar level forceful, but without it being that fast. See, Shellraiser goes 62 miles per hour in 2 seconds. King Dakar, however, goes 128 miles per hour in 4 seconds. So if Shellraiser were to go to King Dakar's speed, it would reach it in the same time frame, which is insane, guys. Meaning Shellraiser has that force there. So this is one of my favorite launches I've experienced. So for launch, guys, I'm going to be giving a solid 10. It's smooth. It quickly reaches that speed. And yeah, so 10. Now, this is the point in the review where some of you guys may disagree with me, and that category is smoothness. In my opinion, guys, Shellraiser is not the smoothest coaster out there. There are many rattles along the way, not particularly in the first half of the coaster, but mainly in the second half, guys. At the tops and bottoms of those inversions, guys, there's going to be a strong rattle. There's some head banging. And at the bottom of the drop, there's a big, pothole. It gets really rough there. And honestly, if it wasn't this rough, I would enjoy it so much more. But for smoothness, guys, I'm giving a 4.5. And here is another category that some of you guys will disagree with me on, and that is restraints. I personally do not like these restraints, guys. They restrict airtime. This is my opinion, guys, and I get headbanging from it. Because I am slightly on the shorter side, I'm 5'4", my head is right at the top of the restraint. I get headbanging. It's very, very uncomfortable. I'm just not comfortable in these restraints, guys. I mean, if I'm not stapled, which I usually am, then I'm fine. But if I'm stapled, I can't rewrite it because my legs hurt. So again, this is my opinion, but for restraints, guys, I am going to be giving a 6. Alright, guys, the next category is operations, and Shellraiser actually has some pretty good operations. For starters, Shellraiser is very underrated. The 2 times that I went to Nickelodeon Universe, Shellraiser had a walk-on all day. No line whatsoever for no line for Nick Quick Pass or for General Rider, which I was surprised of because it's the best ride in the park. And other rides had longer lines than it, which I seriously did not understand. But yeah, I timed it one time and they dispatched the train within 30 seconds. So operations are pretty good for Shellraiser. I believe they have 2 trains operating. I think they have 3 trains, but they usually only operate 2 of them. So for operations, I'm going to be giving an 8. Our final category is park that it's located at. Now, TMNT Shellraiser is located at Nickelodeon Universe. Nickelodeon Universe is an indoor amusement park at the American Dream Mall in New Jersey, guys. And the reason I have this category on here is basically how far out of your way do you have to go? How good is the park to start with? Will you have to go a long way for only that one ride? And guys, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. Nickelodeon Universe is a very small park. It has very small rides other than Shellraiser and Sandy's Blasting Bronco, which is never open. Shellraiser is really your only option here. And Shellraiser is really the only reason you're going to be going to Nickelodeon Universe. So for park it's located at, I'm going to be giving a 5. And that about wraps up our review, and I have the final score for you guys for Shellraiser at Nickelodeon Universe at American Dream Mall in New Jersey. Shellraiser is going to be getting a 7.5. which is an above average score. This is a pretty solid roller coaster. It has some great elements. It has some really great stuff about it. Great inversions, great launch, great drop. But there are some rough patches in the ride. There is a really bad rattle in some parts, like at the bottom of the drop. And I personally do not enjoy those restraints. I wish it had the lap bar that they have on the Gerstlauer Infinities, like Hang Time, for example, at Knott's Berry Farm. But that's just my opinion. 7.5 is the actual score. My personal score of Shellraiser is 7. I don't really enjoy it that much because I have a headache every time I get off Shellraiser, guys. And I wish that didn't happen, but it does. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you agree with my thoughts, definitely let me know down in the comments, if the comments are turned on. And if you disagree with me, still let me know, guys. Still let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on this roller coaster as well. And remember, guys, stay on the thrill side of life. Oh, and wait, I have one more thing to tell you guys. So, we have a big epic trip coming up in 5 days, guys. Just 5 days. That trip is a Florida trip. We're going to be visiting 5 different amusement parks. Those amusement parks are Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, Busch Gardens Tampa, Icon Park, and SeaWorld, guys. And we're going to be having tons of vlogs coming out. I'm going to be getting my first ride on Iron Gwazi, guys. I know I am a week late for this, but I'm still so excited, guys. Hopefully you guys will enjoy my full reaction of my first ride on Iron Gwazi. We're going to be having on-ride footage for the most part of these vlogs, except for the Universal and Islands of Adventure vlogs, because they do not allow filming on the coasters. But SeaWorld parks do, and Icon Park does. So yeah, guys, we're going to be having reviews coming out after all these vlogs. And if you'd like to know more full in-depth stuff about this trip, there's going to be a Coaster Brothers channel news video coming out on Thursday, guys. So definitely go watch that if you want to know more about this whole trip. But until then, guys, remember, stay on the thrill side of life.